Detmore 101 here with another Makes Money or Costs Money tool review. Today we're talking about Chestnut Tool and Chowder Company CLAM CLAMP. Now this is a clamp made for closing up miters on casing. And it works on other miters as well, but predominantly that's what I use it for is casing. And what it does is basically these teeth grab in to the material of the side of the casing, and you twist this, and it puts an immense force inward on the miter, squeezing the joint together. And what's amazing about this thing is really you can have a little bit of mediocrity in your cut. Like, for example, you could have a little bit of a cut has some curvature to it that's not 100% perfect, and this actually closes up imperfect miters, which is amazing. 99% of the houses I go into that have mitered casings, you can see a little shadow line there, and this really does an amazing job of getting glue squeeze out and getting accurate pressure on the miter, and nothing's worked better, and it's an absolute money maker in that sense. Now, there are limitations to this tool. If you are new to trim carpentry, I would almost discourage purchasing this right away. Not because you won't make money off it right away. You probably will if you're a professional, but it's not the end all. You need to know how to assemble miters properly before relying on this too much, because there are a lot of instances where this doesn't work. For example, certain casings aren't big enough, and you can't always fit this into a tight corner if you're not pre-assembling. So you still need to know how to assemble a joint properly without this tool. But if you are doing some sort of production carpentry, this thing is absolutely a moneymaker. And it's not a cheap tool. It's at least $60-something for one of these. But this is a small local business, and this isn't some mass-produced tool. This is crafted. It's way higher quality. You get to speak with the owner. It's a bargain for what it is, and you need to look at it like that when you're purchasing anything that's from a small company. And for the price it is, it's a killer value to me. Now, being that it isn't the cheapest clamp in town, how many of these do you need? For me, that answer was 8. I like that number because it allowed me to do 2 windows at a time, and it allows me to do 4 doors at a time. So that's reasonable for how much the 8 clamps cost me, and that's definitely been a money-making quantity. I use if I have a lot of doors and windows to do and I want to up my production, I could use a product like this hyper glue, and then I'm not leaving the clamps on the material for particularly long. So that's an option of doing more work with less clamps. So it's an amazing product. I really can't say enough good about it. I would just be aware that if you're finishing your work or you want to be nice to your painter, there are a lot of holes here, and they're merciless with the way they put holes in the side of the casing. And if you are working in a corner where these holes are visible but impossible to fill, and you're a trim carpenter and you're pre-assembling, it might be a nice idea to fill those holes prior to the install, just because that's going to be a difficult place for the painter to fill and sand. So just be aware of that. If you can, if you're doing pre-assembled casing and it's up off the wall and you can just fill that edge quickly and knock it down with some sandpaper, that's going to be a stitching time saves 9 type situation for your painter, and it'd be a nice thing to do. But absolutely a moneymaker. I love this tool. I think it's expertly crafted. It's been a moneymaker for me. Money-making side of the table, and support your small business. There are some knockoffs out there, people who've tried to rip off this company and this design, and buy the original one. Do it for yourself. It's the right thing to do, and this is a better product all around.